Coming up, an art piece made by a UTRGV faculty member is caught in a crossfire as President Trump continues pressuring the Smithsonian to remove woke content.
I think it's an attempt to start to censor art.
Plus, before going into effect last week, a federal judge temporarily blocked Senate Bill 10 for 11 school districts in Texas. We'll tell you which districts in minutes. And 3 UTRGV athletic teams competed in their home openers last week. All the details and more on KVAQ-Sports. KVAQ-TV starts now. Good morning, Vaqueros. I'm Dathan Dervino, and this is the second fall edition of KVAQ-TV. Let's start this Monday morning with the top story. A UTRGV faculty member's art is under fire by a government-ran social media account. This comes after President Trump made a comment on Smithsonian's art displays, one of the world's largest museum networks, being, quote, out of control. Multimedia journalist Ian Juarez with the story.
I think it's an attempt to start to censor art.
Rigoberto Gonzalez is a School of Art and Design faculty member at UTRGV. His work has been displayed around the world throughout museums in Sweden, Poland, England, and the U.S. Some of Gonzalez's pieces are related to cartels and immigration, such as these. This painting was displayed on the Smithsonian's website and is receiving backlash from an official government social media account on X.com called Rapid Response 47.
The painting that we're speaking about depicts a group of immigrants crossing the border wall, which is a reality, and it wasn't necessarily my intention to make controversial artwork, but to make something that represents the world that we live in.
The account stated, "This is art from the Smithsonian's Natural Portrait Gallery commemorating the act of illegally crossing the exclusionary border." This was even made a finalist for one of its awards. This is what President Trump means when he says the Smithsonian is out of control. The quote, "out of control" by President Trump is taken from a Truth Social post on August 20th, where he says, "The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future." When Gonzalez was questioned about the comment made by Rapid Response 47, he says,
They understand that art can be a powerful tool for political ideas, for political propaganda. But I'm sure the administration will continue to put pressure, through funding or other ways, so that they can, dictate the type of art exhibitions that are displayed. I think any type of censorship is a bad idea.
Chief Executive Officer at the Museum of South Texas History, Francisco Guajardo, shares his opinion on the administration's actions and the potential effects going forward.
I think that the current administration is perfectly in keeping and right to comment on it. When you see a law passed by Congress that says we are censoring anything that is ideologically like this, okay, that's wrong. I don't see that right now. I see it as a spirited debate. The administration is very, very, I think, aware that its commentary can draw attention that can be both bad and good. Now, the bad would be if people then don't represent art because they're afraid that their funding may be cut. I mean, that's a reality in the museum world. And so some people may be fearful in that way. But the other reality is that there are some very bold, intrepid museum people right now thinking, this is great attention. Let's do that.
While not technically legal to control what the Smithsonian shows, it can lose federal funding, which according to its website is 62% of its funding. For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, Ian Juarez.
U.S. District Judge Fred Beery has issued a temporary preliminary injunction against Senate Bill 10 in 11 school districts as of August 20th. The bill mandates public schools to display the 10 Commandments in classrooms. Jasmine Espinosa with the story.
According to Senate Bill 10, public elementaries or secondary schools must display the 10 Commandments in each classroom.
All classrooms across Texas will now have one similarity: a display of the 10 Commandments, except for those classrooms that found themselves in one of the 11 school districts blocked by Judge Beery. Those school districts are Alamo Heights ISD, Northeast ISD, Lacklands ISD, Northside ISD, Austin ISD, Lake Travis ISD, Dipping Springs ISD, Houston ISD, Fort Bend ISD, Cypress Fairbanks ISD, and Plano ISD. Senate Bill 10 states the text of the Ten Commandments must be a poster or framed copy that is legible to a person with average vision from anywhere in the classroom, and must be at least 16 inches wide and 20 inches tall. District 38 Texas House of Representatives and lawyer Aaron Gomez says although the U.S. is a Christian nation, the law cannot force religion onto people.
This has nothing to do with not being a firm believer in Christ or being a Christian, because we know that we are a Christian nation who very much loves one another and respects the Ten Commandments. This is about forcing a religion upon people. And that is fundamentally, again, un-American and undemocratic. And that's why we know, and I have every faith and confidence in the courts to uphold these previous principles of separation in church and state.
In a press release, Ken Paxton stated the Ten Commandments is a bogus claim about the separation of church and state, which is a phrase found nowhere in the Constitution. Príncipe de Paz Christian pastor Gerardo Rojas says religion has a lot of oppositions. He says the commandments are not forcing students to a single religion and will not be taught in schools.
There is a lot of opposition when it comes to beliefs, so they think that lawmakers are violating the law of freedom of expression. So they think this law is being passed to create a single religion. But it's just going to be proclaimed and posted on the wall. They're not going to teach it.
KVAQ-TV reached out to Brownsville ISD to ask how the school districts is navigating the Senate bill. In a statement sent to us, Director and Public Information Officer of BISD, Isabel de la Cruz, states, and I quote, "We understand that a federal judge in San Antonio has recently issued an injunction concerning the Ten Commandment posters. We are now awaiting further guidance from our legal counsel. As of now, we have no details about which school districts are or are not in compliance."
We will keep you updated as soon as we receive information. For KVAQ-TV in Brownsville, Jasmine Espinosa.
UTRGV held its annual Stomp event last Thursday on the Edinburgh campus. It's one big celebration for returning and incoming students as the chance to cut loose presents itself. The event had live music, carnival rides, and multiple food stands offering free food such as chicken, brisket, sandwiches, nieve, funnel cake, spiro papa, and more. Businesses across the valley as well as student organizations took the opportunity to advertise themselves to the student body, giving away free prizes or refreshments. The event was held from 8 p.m. to midnight and will return in Brownsville at the same time this Tuesday at the Casa Bella parking lot B4. Multiple sports teams returned to campus for their home openers last Thursday. The details on KVAQ Sports with Desiree Villanueva. Desiree?
Thank you, Dathan, and welcome back, Vaqueros, for another edition of KVAQ Sports. UTRGV Athletics was busy last week, starting with volleyball. The Vaqueros hosted Texas State in front of the 5th largest home crowd in program history. The Vaqueros started off strong on their first set, then fell to Texas State, ending the match 3-1 in the Southwest Showdown. Over at the soccer and track and field complex, men's soccer battled Oral Roberts in its home opener, but fell 2-1. The team aimed to bounce back Sunday when it visited Incarnate Word in San Antonio. Visit GoUTRGV.com for the results. Women's soccer stole the spotlight behind acting head coach Audra Larson. The Vaqueros rolled past Texas A&M San Antonio with a dominant 10-0 victory, securing their first win at home this season and the second highest scoring game in program history. This was Larson's first win as acting head coach. She will fill in for the remainder of the season in absence of head coach Mark Foster's medical leave. Over the weekend, UTRGV football had its first away game of the season against Prairie View A&M. The results for that matchup are on GoUTRGV.com. That's all for this edition of KVAQ Sports. I'm Desiree Villanueva.
Get your running shoes ready. The 10th annual Summer Causeway Run and Fitness Walk is coming up September 13th. Victor Ortega runs you through the story.
Sunshine, sandy beaches, and a beautiful view await at the Causeway. 10th annual Summer Causeway Run and Fitness Walk will be split into a 5K and a 10K run, starting at the Port Isabel Event and Cultural Center. Port Isabel Chamber of Commerce Director Mari Gonzalez says the event attracts people from all over the valley, one of the few opportunities a year to cross the causeway by foot.
think what makes it special is the beautiful view and our historic Queen Isabella Causeway, and also that it's very family friendly. We have people of all ages coming.
The 5K run's finish line will be located at the entrance of Beachwater Park, while the 10K scores will end inside the park along the slides and pools. Gonzalez adds the race helps the local economy, and with crowds of over 3,000 people expected, this year is sure to be the biggest. One of the sponsors of the event, the Lighthouse Boutique hotel owner Gustavo Diaz, says the event keeps growing year to year thanks to the increase in attendance.
Before you used to see probably just people racing by themselves. Now you see a lot of groups of 20 people, 50 people, they're all running together. So it's really nice.
Register online at KVAQ-TV.com or in person at the various locations on your screen. Student discounts are available.
A lot of people have crossed the bridge by car, but if you had a chance to walk and run that bridge, it's a really nice experience.
For KVAQ-TV in Port Isabel, Victor Ortega.
Thanks for watching, Vaqueros. I hope everyone had an amazing first week of school. Make sure to catch our newscast at 8:30 a.m. Monday, September 15th on VCast monitors and select social medias. For KVAQ-TV, I'm Dathan Trevino. V's up.